everybody. Welcome back to Surviving the Badge Bar. You got two cops in a bar talking cop shit. So, happy St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're both wearing green. Last year,
We are.
Last year I didn't wear green, and LT's like, "What are you wearing green?"
I pinched the shit out of him.
Right in the butt.
Yeah. Ooh, he liked it.
Did you know that in Illinois, pretty soon, I will be able to punch a cop and it not be a crime?
Well, I'm sure that's going to make some of these wackos happy. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about this crazy bitch.
If you don't know, there's what's her name, Lisa Davis out of Illinois. Shocker.
Yeah.
Cook County Public Defender's Office is floating a bill that would make it would decriminalize the punching or the assault on a police officer if the person has a mental illness. And I'm like, what? How is that? How's that even going to work? First of all, let me put this out there before we get into this.
Yeah.
Crazy people scare me. I'm not scared of anything in the world except for crazy people and spiders.
Yep.
And I don't know what it is, but I never wanted to deal with crazy people
Or spiders.
or spiders. And when I'm hunting, they always hang face high.
Always.
In the dark.
Always. Times this year, deer hunting, and we're going through the woods, and he was, taking his shotgun or his rifle or whatever, doing this. And I said, hold on a minute. And I reached down and picked about a 4-foot branch up.
Yeah.
It just had a few little branches on the end. And I said, here, spider grabber. And he just walked through the woods like this. I said, just hold it out, man.
I bet you missed your asp.
Oh, yeah, right? No shit. No shit.
Anyway, so with that being said, me being afraid of crazy people and spiders, I think this is just a world of hurt happening.
Mm-hmm.
This is just the worst. Well, I don't want to say the worst idea because some of these dems just have some crazy ass ideas, but this is just a
crazy
problem. And the thing is, the way I'm reading it, they want it to be done on the street, like, oh, I can't charge you. But that's people who have true mental illness. People who have true mental illness, they already have safeguards in place.
They do.
People who are truly insane,
right?
There are safeguards. If you have somebody who's truly insane, they're not going to face trial. There's going to be some type of intervention because they are not competent to stand trial. With this bill, they want us to make that decision on the street, and that's just ridiculous.
No, because now not only do we have to be social workers and marriage counselors and cops and paramedic firefighters and everything else, now we got to be freaking mental illness therapists too. Yeah, I mean, what the hell?
No,
can't do that shit.
So
that's crazy.
Before we get too far more into getting all angst up about crazy people and spiders,
the beer moment,
we're gonna talk about our beer moment. This is Estrella Damm out of Barcelona, Spain, 1876, and it is a good beer.
Show it to him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna put it in the picture.
Yeah. Good job, LT. This is a yummy beer. I'm enjoying it.
It does have the oh my God, what's the one that Corona? Yeah. But it's smoother than a Corona.
Yeah, I was thinking it's kind of like on
Modelo,
like a Modelo or a Stella
or Dos Equis.
Dos Equis, yeah.
Oh yeah, I like Dos Equis.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
So, should I start us? I'll start us off this week.
Thank God.
I'm going to give this an 8.25. I'm really.
I am too. I'm going to give it an 8.5. It's right up there in one of my more favorite ones.
And where do we get our beers from, LT?
This is coming from Tom and Kristen Clem of Mainstreet Realty Group, and they are sponsors for the show.
Cheers.
And absolutely, do that again. I got a new toy down here. It's a new mixer. Hopefully our sound sounds amazing. And this is thanks to them also and all their sponsorship and helping us out. So here's a word from them.
Contact Mainstreet Realty for all your real estate needs. This power team includes Tom Clem, a veteran Marine and retired law enforcement professional.
So speaking about our new sound system, Put a comment in and let us know if you notice a difference, because to me it sounds different, and for all of you who are the loyal 10 people who watch our videos, we really appreciate it. But I don't know what's been going on. The echo
gremlin, man.
We've had an echo gremlin for the last several months, and it just seems like it's getting worse. And I hope I want to believe that this has cured that. Let us know if this has made it better. Sheriffs and police officers throughout the nation. I mean, I heard it on the local radio today about this, and I think this is just one of those whack job legislatures who's anti-law enforcement, who does not, who thinks, cops should be this and that. And I think this is just really bad, because I read somewhere, and maybe I put it in my notes, I don't want to refer to my notes too much, but there was one cop in there says, yeah, we're going to have people, getting off with battery on a law enforcement officer because they have a note from the doctor.
May incentivize people to feign mental illness if they're facing charges of agbat to a police officer, whether they're mentally ill or not.
Currently, Illinois law criminalizes attacks on police officers and other first responders, including firefighters. However, this bill specifically excludes attacks on firefighters and other first responders from decriminalization.
Yeah, or they're going to be going on getting notes for their their doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
Just gang related. Oh, now we can just beat the shit out of cops. My doctor says I'm. I wish I had that sound effect.
and not only that, you have people who have a mental illness,
right?
But it's not insanity. You might have somebody who has, and I don't want to come off as judging anybody, but there are people who have bipolar.
Absolutely.
And that's a mental illness.
And 99% of their time, they are just, you can't even tell.
Right.
But unless they have an episode or, medicine.
If they attack a law enforcement officer, now we can't charge them. And I think that's bullshit. That's not something we need to be dealing with. We need to be able to protect our men and women in blue and make the streets for safe.
I like you put a note in here, and I agree 100%. I like you put in here, agencies reported 79,091 officers were assaulted in 2023, marking the highest officer assault rate in the past 10 years.
Yeah, let's just do it right now when it's on an increase.
Yeah, I thank God the administration we have in there now, whatever, I know it's pissing a lot of people off with this Doge stuff and everything else, but at least they are behind law enforcement 1,000%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like that.
The thing I'm worried about is the Illinois legislature, the governor. They're all whack job, anti-cop.
Yes, they are. I had to, sorry.
This is going to be a while.
You can cut out the second one there.
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard enough being a cop in Chicago with all of the, can't chase, can't do this, can't, like you were talking about.
Can't stop anybody.
Right. Well,
stop and frisk.
Yeah. Last week, all the administration, cuffing officers' hands, and this is just going to make it. I mean, what is everybody? Do I have to while you're attacking me? Let me see if you have a card that shows you're insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
Or I got to the jail, and I arrested you because of this. And and here's another point.
Okay.
You make the arrest.
Yeah.
You get him down to the jail. Right. You book him in, everything else, and then all of a sudden, a family member calls and says, "Oh no, he's mentally ill." And we have a doctor's thing that says he's mentally ill, paranoid schizophrenic or whatever. And so now so is it a false arrest now?
Yeah, you have to unarrest him.
I mean, you got to unarrest him and bring him back home. I mean, these idiots do not realize the problems that stuff like this is going to cause.
Yep, downstream issues are massive.
I get it. Okay, I get it. If somebody's mental ill and they had a manic episode or an episode or whatever, they were off their meds or, the new meds and it didn't work and they go a little, bonkers or whatever, and the cops get there and they start fighting the cop. I get it. It's not totally their fault, but hey, we can't just allow it to be open range on the cops.
Not at all.
You got to figure out something else. Well, this ain't it.
And like I said, we already have that. in the court systems that are laxed already. I mean, how many people are not getting charged, are not kept?
Totally agree.
There's no protection for anybody. Oh, well, he killed 5 people, but he's insane. Let's kick him off to the street. How many people, and this is just a little bit of a side note, with all of the ICE pickups, how many people are child molesters and rapists and murderers that were left on the street?
Yeah.
What the hell is that? And this is just going to add to that total mess. Yeah. This is just not cool.
Prime example, Lake and Riley.
Yeah.
I mean, one child molester, but a violent criminal.
Absolutely.
You know,
when I was researching this, this also reminded me of the Daytona Beach officer Rainier. Remember the guy who murdered him? I maybe not first degree murder, but that's second degree murder all day long. And he argued that because he was in fear of what law enforcement was going to do,
Othel Wallace, I think his name was.
He had to murder this police officer, and he got manslaughter.
Manslaughter.
Yeah,
manslaughter.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it is complete bullshit. And we did a show on that one too.
And if we go down this road, that's going to happen more and more.
It is.
I'm crazy. I'm going to kill a cop. Oh, you can't do anything about it. And I know that's probably not the norm, but we can't just let open these these legislations up. This is horseshit.
So guys, if you have a comment about this, or you have heard something similar to this in one of the other states, we try to, especially Camille keeps up on what's going on with the new bills that are coming through and this and that, especially when they affect law enforcement directly. But if you have a comment on this, please comment down below, and we really appreciate it if you give us that that thumbs up and a subscribe. We're up to almost 38,000, I think it is, subscribers. But those likes really do help our algorithm. The more likes we get, those thumbs up, the more it'll appear out there in the thing. So if you like what we're doing, especially now that you don't have to hear the damn echo.
Just a couple of things before we head out. We are at 15 fallen officers as of right now. We are a little lower overall this same time last year.
Wow, 53% down.
Yeah. Gunfire is 13% up, and auto is 50% down.
You know what? I wonder, and I'm not being
because I did this because you asked last time and I wanted to put it.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. A great job. But I wonder if it is down somewhat. Number one, administration change. They're not hiding behind the old administration. Maybe they're going to get off everything. But the biggest one, all these violent illegal aliens are running for the hills, trying to, hide, and they're not out there committing all these crimes and shooting at cops and everything else.
Study's probably out there. You're probably right.
I'm really curious, man, if it's coming down because we're getting rid of all these, scumbags. We'll see. We'll see.
So to all our fallen brothers and sisters,
salute. God bless you and your families.
All right, so that's all I've got, LT. What do you think? Any other last words?
No, I don't. I just, man, it worries me, the direction of our country and some of these lawmakers that are making some of these decisions or trying to make some of these decisions. It scares the hell out.
Yeah, I'd love for someone really just to ride, be a police officer for a week.
Yeah, just for a week.
Yeah.
And ride and see what we saw and see what we do.
Yep.
Yeah. So guys, we appreciate each and every one of you very much for being out here and watching the show and being a part of it since the beginning. We really appreciate it. And you guys mean the world to us. Thank you.
And always remember, at Surviving the Badge,
we still got your 6. Be careful out there.